Okay, now here's kind of the reason I was having you do all that crap with some of those assignments that seemed rather pointless at the time. Now they're going to serve us well. Okay, here's a problem. An online music store sells 4,000 songs when it charges $1 per song. Now, what they're going to do is they're going to increase the price 5 cents, and they're going to do that over and over. 80 fewer songs are sold every time they increase it by 5 cents. Find how the store can maximize revenue. Okay, so I'm trying to find out the maximum revenue. Now, you can, if you don't use algebra with this, it's kind of hard. So let's think of this. So look at this table. It's already done for you. If I sell 4,000 songs for $1 each, 4,000 times $1 is $4,000. Now, what they're going to do is they're going to up the price by 5 cents, but then 80 fewer people are going to buy because it's more expensive. So now I can multiply and I get $4,116. So their revenue they made actually went up. Okay, now they decrease it up by 5 cents again, but then that goes down by 80. So 3,840 times $1.10 is $4,224. Again, the revenue went up. And what I do is I just keep on repeating this until the revenue doesn't go up. Okay, so I up by 5 cents, down by 80, 4,324. So it still went up. It still went up. From here to here it went up. From here to here it went up. From here to here it went up. 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 Okay. And then it didn't go up. Okay. Now it went down. Okay. So this right here is my maximum revenue, and I can accomplish that by charging $1.75 for a song, and I will sell 2,800 songs. Now that does take a little while. I mean, it took me like probably 5 to 10 minutes just to make that table right there. Okay. Find the maximum, and sometimes they go even higher, so we probably want an algebra formula that gives us the answer a little more efficiently than making a table and having to just blindly trial and error. Okay, so with maximums, we know this is a parabola, and we know there's an x value and a y value at the vertex. And to find the x, I will be taking my opposite of b divided by 2 multiplied by a. And then to find the y, I will replace x on the calculator. Okay, again, with maximums, you don't want to waste time with the boxes. Okay, that's just a waste. Okay, I mean, I want you doing the boxes still on problems where you're not finding a maximum, or of course if it's a shape problem. But for maximums, we need this set up here. Now, the other assignment, you were looking at gravity, but gravity has nothing to do with this problem. It's not an object going up and down. Okay, it makes no sense. So, I want you to think of a problem here. If I sell 5 boxes of popcorn, and I sell them for $2 each, the revenue I make, 5 times 2 is $10, okay? And I got that by multiplying. So the revenue formula is very simple, okay? It's simply the money that we charge times the number of items that I sell. Okay, now let's make this into an algebra equation. So revenue, let's replace R with Y, okay? And then what you need is a parentheses for the money and a parentheses for the number of items. Okay, just like that. Okay, so this parentheses is all about money. If it doesn't have a money label, it does not belong in that parentheses. So what's the first money label? $1. So put $1. Cross it out. Now, the other price I see is 5 cents. Now, it's a 5 cent increase in price. So what I want to do is add 5 cents, 0.05. And you're doing that repeatedly because on this table I was adding 5 cents over and over again. So I put an X variable on that. Okay, we can cross that out. Now, the items we sell, in this case I'm selling songs. I see 4,000. Now, if I'm adding to the price, then the number of songs I sell will decrease, okay? They always run, if I up the price, the songs decrease. Now, if you decrease the price, the number of the songs you sell increases, because the idea is that it's cheaper and people want to buy, but when it becomes more expensive, less people want to buy. And the decrease is 80. And that happens repeatedly, because I kept going down by 80 over and over again, so I put an X, okay? Now, here's the deal. This is in factored form, so you need to multiply it out so you have a B with an X, and I don't really need C, but I will have one, okay? Now, I'm going to need to multiply this out using the FOIL method. First, outer, inner, last, okay? First, outer, inner, last. Last being these two. Okay, so first, I take 1 times 4,000. Then back to the 1. Now that 80 is negative, and you got to put it in as negative 80x. Okay, otherwise it's screwed up. Then the 1's done. Now 0.05x times 4,000. And then 0.05x times negative 80x. Okay, so 1 times 4,000 is 4,000. 1 times negative 80, oh, by the way, these x's are to the 1 powers. Okay. 1 times negative 80 is negative 80x to the 1. Okay, I need my calculator here. I need to take 0.05 times 4,000, and I got 200, positive 200, x to the 1. And then I take 0.05 times negative 80, and that's negative 4, okay? And then 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, so my x to the second is a 4, and that is my negative 4, okay? That's my A. And then my x, I'm going to be taking negative 80 plus 200. Well, that's 120. And then I've got 4,000. Okay, so now that I have my A and B, I can go up here. Okay, so the opposite of B would be opposite of plus 120 is negative 120. And then I multiply 2 by whatever A is. In this case, it's negative 4. So that's negative 8. If you don't end up with a negative over a negative, you did it wrong, okay? You better have a negative over a negative. I'm going to say that again. When you do this, if you don't end up with a negative on top and a negative on bottom before you divide, it's going to be wrong, okay? So 15. Now replace x on the calculator. So these x's get replaced with 15. Okay, so I've got negative 4 times 15 to the second power plus 120 times 15 plus 4,000. Okay, it gives me 4,900. Now, here's what your labels represent. Now, the Y is your money, okay? And the 15 is the number of price increases, okay? So, just put increases. Because that's how many times I did. I increased it once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 price increases. And my maximum revenue is 4,900. Okay, plenty more of these problems that I will be going over. An electronics store sells about 70 of a new model of digital camera at a price of $320. For each $20 decrease in price, 5 more cameras are sold. Find how the store can maximize revenue. So I'm finding the max revenue. Okay, so maximum, draw that, and I'm supposed to find that point. There's an x I need to find and a y I need to find. So the x is the opposite of b divided by the product of 2 and a. And then the y, you just replace x on the calculator with whatever I get here. Okay, now again, gravity has nothing to do with this problem. It's a revenue problem. Okay, revenue equals money multiplied by items. So this will become y, and then the money, okay? Here's my money. The money's, you got to put circle the two money amounts. So I put where I started, 320. Now this says decrease, so I would minus 20 repeatedly, so x, and that's my money. Now cross those out. Okay, now items. I have 70, and if that's minus, this will be plus 5x, okay? All right, now what I need to do is get it out of factored form and into standard form. Because with the two parentheses and the product of the two x's in factor form, well, that doesn't really do me much good when I'm trying to have a b and an a here. Okay, so I take 320 times 70. I take 320 times positive 5x to the 1. That's done. I take negative 20x. Don't miss the negative. You can't mess up the negative. Times 70. And then negative 20x to the 1 times 5x to the 1. Okay, so 320 times 70. 22,400. 320 times 5 is 1,600, x to the 1. Negative 20 times 70 is negative 1,400, x to the 1. And negative 20 times 5 is going to be negative 100, x to the 2. Now, when you look at these four, two of them should be positives and two of them should be negatives, and they are. Okay, so I'm on the right track. Okay, so I have negative 100. A is negative because that goes this way. B, I take 1,600 plus negative 1,400, and that's 200. And then I have 22,400. Okay, so this is A, this is B. Okay, so the opposite of B is negative 200. And then I'll be taking 2 times whatever A is, which is negative 100. Okay, that gives me a product of negative 200. And negative 200 divided by negative 200, it's not 0, it's 1. Okay? And now I simply replace these x's with 1 to find what y equals. Okay? So negative 100, parentheses 1 to the second, plus 200, parentheses 1, plus 22,400. Okay, so I got 22,500. Now the y is money, and there's not really, we're not going with a time unit. The 1 is a number of price decreases. So 1 decrease means I decrease the price 1 time, and that takes me to the maximum value of 22,500, okay? As soon as I decrease the price 1 time, I need to quit doing it because then that's only going to lead to a downfall in revenue. Okay? All right, next one. A video store sells about 150 DVDs at a price of $20 each. The owner estimates that for each $1 decrease in price, 25 more DVDs will be sold. What's the maximum revenue that can be raised? So maximum, you can put a $sign to, means the same thing. Okay, so here's my coordinate, xy, and the x is found with the opposite of b divided by 2a, and the y is found by replace x on the calculator. Okay, now this is not gravity, it's revenue, and that equals the money I charge times the number of items that I sell. Now it's more complex than just taking one number times another, though. This becomes y, because I'm more comfortable with y and x than I am with r, because that's what I have here. And you'll see the x in there. So the money goes here. So circle the two money amounts, 20 and 1. Okay, so $20, and it's a $1 decrease, so I want a minus 1x, because you're doing it repeatedly. Okay, now the items, cross those out as soon as you get them down. 150 and 25. So if that's minus, that's going to be plus 25 repeatedly, so x. And now I need to get this into standard form. Okay, so multiply it out. We take 20 times 150. 20 times 25x to the 1. Negative 1x to the 1 times 150. And negative 1x to the 1 times 25x to the 1. So I find these products. That's 3,000. That's 500 x to the 1. That's negative 150 x to the 1. And that's negative 25 x to the 2. Are there two positives and two negatives? Yup. So the x second is negative 25, and that's my A. And then the B, I add 500 plus negative 150, and that's 350. And then I have 3,000. Okay, so the opposite of B would be negative 350. And then I take 2 times negative 25. Now that product gives me negative 50. It needs to be a negative divided by a negative, and that's 7. Okay? All right, so go down to these x's and replace them with 7. Okay? So y equals negative 25 times 7 to the second power plus 350 parentheses 7 plus 3,000. Okay, that gives me 4,225. Okay, so that's money. And the 7, of course, is the number of price decreases. 7 decreases. Okay. So the maximum revenue is 4,225. If I decrease the price 7 times, meaning I would charge $13, but I don't need to see that. Okay, moving right along, I got 2 more of these bad boys left. A video store sells about 150 DVDs at a price of $20 each. The owner estimates that for each $1 decrease in price, 25 more DVDs will be sold. What's the maximum revenue that can be raised? So I'm finding the maximum revenue. Okay, anytime I'm finding a maximum solution, you want to draw that. And you need to find where the maximum's at. So the x is found with opposite of b divided by 2 multiplied by a. And on the y, we replace x on the calculator. Okay, so revenue equals money times items. This bad boy needs to be replaced with y, okay? And then I need a parentheses for the money and the items, okay? Because the money's changing, so is the items. So circle your two money amounts, $20 and $1. So I start with 20, but then I'm going to minus 1 from it. So minus 1x, okay? Don't put an x, you put an x on the second one. As far as minus or plus, read the problem. $1 decrease is minus. Then the items are 150. Don't put an x on that. That's a one-time thing. Adding 25, but that's not one time. That's repeatedly, so that's why it's x, 25 times x. Okay, now I got to get this into standard form. need an A and a B, and I'll get one. I just got to multiply it out correctly. So 20 times 150, 20 times 25x. Where did I already do this problem? You already did this problem. I don't know why I'm doing it again. Okay, anyway, on to the next one. Okay. A go-kart has 380 racers and charges each racer $35 to race. The owner estimates there will be 20 more racers for every $1 decrease in price per racer. How can the owner of the go-kart maximize his revenue? Again, a maximum is totally different than if I'm just finding a regular unit. I don't use the 3 boxes. Okay, so opposite of B divided by 2 multiplied by A. And then, of course, replace X on the calculator. All right, so revenue equals money multiplied by items. Okay, replace this bad boy with a Y, and then we need 2 parentheses for this. Okay, this is the money, this is the items. Find a money amounts. Only money amounts can go in here. 35. And $1, okay, $1 decrease. I'm going to circle that. So you got 35. Don't put X on that because it's a one-time thing. And then minus 1, but we do put X on that because that happens repeatedly. Okay, now the items. I have 380. And if that's minus, that's got to be plus. The sign's got to be the opposite with revenue. Okay, so 20 and X, okay? They're never the same because if I lower the price, the people who buy from me aren't going to go down. It gets cheaper, more people buy. If I raise the price, less people buy. They don't say, oh, it's more expensive, let's buy it, theoretically. Okay, so X to the second, that's going to be my A, and then B and X, and then I don't really care that that's C, but you can put it there. Okay, so multiply positive 35 times positive 380, and then positive 35 times 20x. Okay, that takes care of that. Now, negative 1x times 380, and negative 1x times 20x. 1, 1, 1, 1. So 35 times 380. 13,300. Okay, no X's on that one. Okay, 35 times 20 is 700 with X to the 1. Negative 1 times 380 is negative 380 with X to the 1. And negative 20, X to the 2. Okay, so negative 20. And then add 700 to negative 380, and that is going to be 320. And then 13,300. Okay, so my opposite of the plus 320 is negative 320. Underline it because you need to divide it by the product of 2 and A. So A is negative 20. So I multiply that, it's negative 40, and then I divide negative 320 by negative 40. I got 8, okay? Now replace X on the calculator with 8 down here. So 8s are going in for X. So Y equals negative 20 multiplied by 8 to the second power, plus 320 multiplied by 8, plus 13,300. I got 14,580. Okay, now remember, the Y is the money, so $14,580 is the maximum revenue. And I get that by making 8 price decreases, because I'm 8 decreases in price. Okay. All right, so $14,580. Okay, that's all I have to say on that today. You have 2 problems. I hope it has been informative, and that's kind of the last story problem you really learn about in Algebra 1.